What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Ethereum Classic. Somebody requested this. I don't remember who it was, but it's a little bit late coming out. I'm sorry for that. I meant to make this earlier today. I was literally in the middle of making it, and in the middle of my video, I could have sent half a video, but I that's not. I would leave some questions, I think, if I did that. So I got cut off. I had to go do some stuff. It was literally very urgent. So everything's fine. Life was just busy, so I couldn't do it. But we do have this flat base here with Ethereum Classic, right? We do have a very flat base. This is on the Binance chart, ETC USDT. We're on the weekly here. To be fair, we got a couple of conflicting things going on, right? We have this flat base, which would tell me that it will give, that we will go to the downside. But we also have this like double bottom looking thing, right? Where you've got a low here and a low here, and they're pretty identical. Overall, I do think that we're in this kind of descending triangle right now. Whether you want to draw it like that, you want to move it up to the wicks. Maybe it's something larger than that, and it's like all the way out back here. However it is that you want to draw this, I think that if we're going to be a little bit more tight and precise with like the current time frames, I think this is the one to look at. Now, I want to say first and foremost, before we'll go on the pattern site to get it actually, but what I wanted to say is that descending triangles are statistically likely to break to the downside. Likely is not a guarantee, right? There is still a chance that they can break upwards. Let's see. Triangle, reverse symmetrical, I don't know. Triangles, descending, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, little quick example there. Let's see. 33 out of 39. So out of 39 patterns, it is ranked number 33. So it doesn't perform that well. Throwback, pullback rate. So over half the time, it will do like a fake out to whichever direction it breaks, and then that is pretty inherent with any triangle pattern. You'll getting fake outs is very common. Wedges, triangles, whatever. Let's see. Percentage meeting price target for breakup or breakdowns. For breakdown breakouts, it's 50-50. So meeting the price target, right? And the price target of this specific triangle, if we were to take it from the top to where it formed, I mean, arguably, maybe it didn't start forming till here. Let's be conservative. But you have a 50-50 chance of that target being met, okay? And that's how you do it. That's how you do a measure move on a descending triangle. And it's maybe this line is a little bit higher, maybe it's supposed to be a little bit lower, but I feel more or less that's accurate there. But I want to see, where is it? Average rise decline. I wanted to see what the average for going down is, because here you see you've got a descending triangle and it actually breaks up. This is just a perfect example, right, where you have this flat base coming in time and time again. But really what you have is like your low here, a higher low, and then a higher low, and we continue to go higher. And yes, it is perceived as a descending triangle. It definitely is, but you can break upwards. And I just think that this is a perfect picture to show kind of what I'm talking about, is that it does not have to go down from here. This is, on top of it being a double or a descending triangle, this is a double bottom as well. And if we take a step back and let's see if we've got any significant fib support on this thing. From low here to high there. Yeah, man, right off the 618, we've been holding it. Generally, with this kind of look, if and when we break the 618, I would expect us to go to the 786 or the 886. But with how bullish things have been, lately, and I'm not. This isn't just something that flip of a dime. I'm changing the script, you guys. You know that I've been bearish for quite some time now. For more than a few months, and we together have all seen some pumps and dumps in that time. I'm starting to lean to the bullish side for most things in the market. Let's look at this with that little intro in mind. Let's actually do some TA on this thing and get started. So still in a descending triangle, but again, there is the potential for it to break up. Does it break up or break down? I think I don't really know at this point. Let's try and find that in the charts. If we look at the weekly RSI, we can see that it is somewhat neutral. You are out of the bearish area of control right now. We do have a little bit of time, 2 days, 21 hours, about 3 days until the week closes, so this can change whether it goes up or down. But you have been rejecting the 50 area, which isn't a good thing, right? That normally does imply weakness. But to the strength side of things, as soon as you get to the oversold zone, you don't even get in it. You just reject it. You reject it. So that is a point of strength in itself as well. But same can be said for the overbought zone, and of which, you've hit the oversold zone like 3 different times. You only hit the overbought zone once. You couldn't even get up there. So that's, I would say, neutral to a certain degree, but more or less in favor of the bears on this R side. But you do have higher lows coming in right now. Slightly higher highs, sure, whatever. Overall in this descending range. Could you go up from here? Maybe. Maybe we just go up to form another lower high. If we were to do something like that, I would expect that the next move down would lead to a breakout to the downside. And the odds of us seeing the breakout move hit its projected target or not, it's to be determined. But, for the time being, I do think that we might be going up. We do have a bullish engulfing candle this week presenting itself. If this week closes here or higher, we will engulf the last 3 weeks of bodies, and then even the 4th week on a closing basis. So I think that would be significant. Volume isn't really there. Let's look at the daily. I guess technically volume is increasing a little bit as of right now, just a little bit as we're moving up, but we don't have a higher high, do we? We do have this kind of flat base with an ascending low formation here in the more relative term time frame. On the 4 hour, you can kind of see it. Maybe we're on a smaller ascending triangle in this overall descending triangle. Volume here on the 4 hour is actually decreasing as we're moving up. If we look at the 4 hour RSI, that is some bearish divergence. So maybe in the very immediate term we move down, like today or tomorrow we move down. But overall, I still would expect that we get above these highs and we probably even move. I wonder, is that? Yeah, we could move. I think that we do move above. Wait, is that? What is this? August 29th. Maybe we don't move above that, actually. I would think that we move below this here, slightly lower high, but above these highs here. That's what I was trying to say. And then looking at the 4 hour RSI, it is, again, presenting bearish divergence, but you don't need a whole lot to kind of confirm that bearish divergence or to for it to be met. If you move down to, you're at $15.76 now. If you move down, really, if you move down to about $15.58, then you're good. So that's not too far away. You could move down to this purple line, form an overall higher low. You are above your 50 for the time being. So this move up above the purple line isn't bad, especially back checking it and then going off. Purple line be damned. You basically tested. What just happened here? Hold on, guys. I got to make sure that this thing doesn't die on me midstream. What's going on? Alright, we're good. For some reason, my charger was plugged in and it still wasn't charging, so that's kind of weird. But what I was saying was, what was I saying? Basically, we could form a lower high. Oh yeah, this purple line be damned. We found support at a previous area of resistance. We actually had a very strong bounce right off of that, where here we didn't get too strong of a bounce to the downside, finding resistance on it. So I do think this might be somewhat significant. Let's look at the more relative fibs here. High to low, above your 0.5, finding resistance on it, 618. Yeah, this kind of goes with what I'm thinking. One time here failed, second time here maybe you fail, and then you come up a couple days later, sometime next week, and you do break through it. And that would lead you probably to the 786 to 886 area, a slightly lower high to maintain, and then we probably come back down somewhere around this range here. With that being said, I think from the current price, we could see a move that's anywhere from about 5%, maybe 6% in the coming weeks. And then in the coming months, probably by the end of the year, maybe even by the end of October, we see a move that takes us back below where we are now. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think that we're going to break out of this descending triangle just yet. I think that we are going to stay in it for a little bit longer, but we're at the point where we would come back, have another lower high, and then continue. This thing, if we're looking at it, just a rough drawing here. Be kind of tight with it so we can be a little bit more conservative on time. The apex is all the way here in May, just a month after the halving in next year. So we could, sometime literally at the beginning of next year, we could break out of this. So it's the end of September now. We have all of October, all of November, all of December. We have a quarter of a year to go. I don't think it's going anywhere just yet. It might go up, test this trend line, come back down to this area, something like that, form an overall higher low, and we could break to the upside. Now, the possibility, I know I've given a kind of neutral stance on this thing with a slightly bullish tilt to the upside, but the possibility of breaking down is still there. This thing absolutely can break down, and is that game over for Ethereum Classic? I don't think so. It can break down from here, have a move that takes you all the way down below $8, and you're still forming a higher low overall. If we go to ETC/USD on Coinbase, where there's more historical data, you can see it'd still be an overall higher high, higher low situation, which isn't a bad thing at all. I was on the Binance chart for volume's sake, of which there is no volume. So if and when we do get above this line, as we have, a couple times even actually, this was a more prominent wick here, but we wicked above it here and here. If we were to get above this line and some volume came in, I don't mean volume like this, but volume like this shit back here, bigger volume than we've seen in a while, that could be a more convincing breakout. But fake outs are common, right? Fake outs are very common with triangles, so just keep that in mind, you guys. All in all, with ETC, I think we're going up right now. Over the coming weeks, we will probably move somewhere around $18 or just below that. And then from there, I think that we will actually go down. Oh, man. Okay. See, I was confused on my daily. I was saying that we wouldn't go above this here. I do think we go above this here. I'm sorry, guys. I redact that. I got it all twisted because of the way the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly looks. I do think that we do go above that. So that would actually change, wouldn't it? The overall look, wouldn't it? Because I was measuring it from here. That's a lot smaller of a fib range than I was thinking. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, I think that we could. I think that we do see a move that takes us above this trend line, a little wick like we've seen before, to the 618, 69 area. So that's actually a lot bigger of growth than I was originally saying. I'm sorry, you guys. 19% to 25% from the current price and then down. That makes sense. I felt a little confused there because I looked at this thing earlier and I was like 4%, 5%. I feel like that's not what I saw earlier. But if you stuck around to hear the clarification, good for you. If you left, at the first glance of any kind of notion, hopefully you're not making decisions off my videos, because that's that's not the point of this anyways. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion, and opinions can change very, very quickly. It wouldn't take me saying that this thing is going to go down. Instead of, like, right now I think it's going up, it wouldn't take much for me to think that it's going to go down. If we get a week to close below essentially, about $14.80, about $1 below where we are now. Very different tone, very, very different tone that would be taken. But at the moment, I do think we'll have a bounce, something that's in a lower high, and just continue to kind of meander in this range until probably next year. I don't know if we're going to go lower than this low here. This is a bottom here. We got a very classic looking double bottom. We might not go below that low. This might be a descending triangle that breaks to the upside. But it might not. It might not even be a descending triangle at all. Who knows? But at the moment, we do have higher lows. We still have lower highs. So until that changes, I say that we're just range bound, no volume, range bound. And that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much for coming. And I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.